All right, welcome back, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kristen Burnett. I am the Deputy Director for the Center for Immigrant and Refugee Health. And I will be facilitating this panel, which is our student and family panel. And given that this conference and our work is so focused on improving the academic success and well-being of our Afghan and Ukrainian refugee students, we wanted to center our student voices in this panel. So we have 6 amazing students that are here. One is on the way. And we're going to be hearing about their experiences over the next 40 minutes. And we have one panelist joining us a little late, had some transportation issues. And we also have Jasmine at the end of the table, who's our refugee student wellness coordinator with the Center for Immigrant and Refugee Health, supporting with translation. So to begin, each of our student panelists is going to introduce themselves, and then we're going to get into the questions. And first, I will introduce Arena, who is our first. Arena will introduce herself, and then we'll go down the line and have everyone introduce themselves. And I'd also just like to mention that Arena did the lovely art for this poster for this conference. So thank you so much, Arena, for that. So I'll go ahead and pass it to you. Go ahead, Arena.
Thank you. Hi, can everyone hear me? Yeah, okay. Hi, my name is Arena. I am actually in graduate school. Yeah, I live in Oakland. My fun fact is that I am half Afghan and half Ukrainian, and I was born in Kharkov. I came here when I was 10, so I've been here for a second.
You have to press the button.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Yahya Nasimi, and I'm from Afghanistan. I came to the United States with all my family 3.5 years ago, and I'm currently a senior in Oakland International High School, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you, everyone.
Hello, everyone. My name is Amina Chernova. I'm from Fastiv, Ukraine. I came here from San Francisco International High School. I'm junior, and I've been lived here for 11 months and studied for 9 months in San Francisco Unified School District.
All right, so hey everyone. My name is Yaroslav. I'm a senior at George Washington High School down in San Francisco. I love playing sports. I love playing football, and I'm happy to see all of you here. So, yep, thank you.
Hello to everyone. My name is Mastora Matin. I'm from Afghanistan, and I came to US about almost 3 years ago with my family. And I studied until 9th grade in Afghanistan, and I started my high school from the 10th grade in here, and I graduated this year. For now, I started college, and today I'm here, and I'm so happy to be.
Thank you all for being here. So we're going to have several questions, and we're just going to go down the line, and we're going to hear our students share with us their experiences. So let's go ahead and get started with the questions. So the first question we have is, what advice would you give to other refugee families who are just beginning their journey in a new school system?
Okay, I would say my piece of advice would be to connect with other families who are from immigrant or refugee backgrounds, just so that the experience can feel less isolating. And I think through doing that, it just helps it feel like you're not going through this process alone. And there's also a lot of just knowledge that exists in like the refugee and immigrant community that can be immensely helpful. Also, just like seeking out extra support, like after school tutoring or like immersion programs, ESL programs, and like academic enrichment, things like that. I feel like where I am right now in Oakland, there are a lot of initiatives for that. I'm not sure about like other places, but I think they're out there. So yeah, just like taking advantage of all of those resources really helps.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Sure. What advice would you give to other refugee families who are just beginning their journey in a new school system?
So my specific advice would be to take every opportunity as you can, and by learning the language, because we all, when we come here, we adapt to a new culture, a new language, and by taking every opportunity as you can to learn the language and learn the culture, and take things slowly. You don't have to go fast if you're in a high school, middle school, or even if you're going to college or other things. You don't have to take things too fast. Everything's gonna happen at its right time, so you can take things slowly, take every opportunity you can, and try to help other people. And if you need help, you can seek for help, and that's all.
So I would say that it's really important to find someone who already knows the system, but if you don't have that person, so you should ask and ask again. So for example, I have been studying in Europe as well, so I have experience studying in 3 different countries. So when I just started school in Denmark, I only spoke Ukrainian and I knew a few words in English. So I couldn't study the other students. The teachers were really patient in helping me to adapt. They gave me extra homework and allowed me to complete assignments in English. And the most important things to learn about the new school system are how your work graded, when to accept tests, and how they are conducted. And it's also helpful for parents to talk with the school representatives to get information about documents and anything they want to know. So the most important thing you need to remember that there are always going to be a person or different communities who will be willing to help you, and you just don't need to be worried if you don't understand everything right away. It's tough at first, but you'll eventually catch on.
I think my advice is to be patient and just take things slowly, not to rush yourself. And of course, you gotta take every single opportunity. What you see, for example, like this event, I just pushed myself, even though I'm a bit nervous right now. You gotta push yourself, and you gotta be prepared for everything. You gotta be a leader for your family, and yeah, just be patient with yourself, and yeah, be ready.
First of all, I would like to answer the question with my primal language, just for making my point. بهترین ادوایزی که من میتونم بهتون ایسته که صبور باشین. در اول بسیار سر خصوصا در درس های مکتب در انفشارات که مثلا از طرف زبان و سیستم درسی مکتب سر آدم میاد زیاد هستن، امایی که شما تلقین نکنین که من مثلا زبان یاد ندارم یا مثلا اینجا هیچ چیز نمیفهمم یا بلد نخورستم یا مثلا نمیتونم ایده اینجا بسازم. صبور باشین و تایم تان منیجمنت کنین. واقعا تایم نیاز داره که شما همه چی رو یاد بگیرین و این ضرور نیست که به شما یعنی به سر خود فشار وارد کنین و منتال هلت تان خراب کنین.
Okay, I'm going to do my best to summarize that. So she shared to be patient, to try and take advantage of every opportunity that exists at the school. So if there are ESL classes or other opportunities that you want to take, to not tell yourself like, I'm not good enough to do this, or I don't know enough English to do this thing. And the last thing as well was to not put too much pressure on yourself and make sure that you're taking care of your mental well-being.
Thank you. So, all right, our second question for our panelists is, what support systems or resources have been most beneficial for your family in adapting to life in a new country and supporting your education?
So for me, I remember when I came here, something that was really helpful was my mom took me to these like Ukrainian kids meetups. It would be like dancing or like language classes, and I thought that that was really helpful because at the time I didn't know English, and it was nice to have a group of peers who I could like communicate with while I was like learning how to communicate with my American peers. And I think that really like fostered a sense of community and helped me integrate into my new environment. And I would say, sorry, I lost my place. Yeah, it's not directly school related, but it definitely like helped me meet other kids who I related to. Yeah, I would say just like community building and kind of like trying to make friends despite the language barrier and like seeking out other children who were immigrants or refugees was really helpful as well.
I would say that people say I've like in other presentations I noticed that some people say that the refugees are left on their own after like 2-3 months. I mean, it can be true on some cases, but me and my family when we got here, I have a large family, so there was my uncles, my cousins. They indeed helped us with a lot of stuff. But a lot of my siblings went to college, and one of them graduated, and the others are on the path to graduate. And they didn't get any help, but they asked for help, they looked for help, they took opportunities, and if they wanted to enroll to colleges, they went to colleges and asked for help, for counseling helps. And actually, now one of my sisters worked for a program in college where they help other students enroll to college and stuff and their classes. So by taking every opportunity and helping yourself and maybe in the future helping others is a great thing, which my family received from others. We had tutors who helped us a lot with learning the language, and other things were the school that the teachers are so supportive. There were programs that came to my school that were so supportive and helped us. There were tutoring programs, and there was other programs that brought the Muslim community students together. Because I go to an international school, and there's a lot of newcomers who doesn't speak, who come together every week or so to communicate and help each other, and we have events and stuff, and that's all.
So for my family, we tried to finding information about the education system online, but unfortunately it wasn't really helpful for us. So the best way for us was to ask people who were familiar with how things worked. So people often say the best way to learn is by asking someone who knows, and that was definitely true for us. So talking to others and asking questions were the most helpful way to understand the system for me and my family.
For me, it was the ELD program at my school because I didn't just meet people. I didn't just start talking in English. I was actually meeting people who had a similar experience as I did, and we basically grew together, and our English level grew too. So.
برای من و خانواده‌ام سپورت و سرویس هایی که ما از طرف ارگانایزیشن ها دریافت میکنیم بسیار کمک کننده بودن، خصوصا در بخش هایی که ترنینگ و کلاس ها و کمیونیتی ها رو برگزار میکنن که چطور در کلچر آمریکایی مثلا شما یاد بگیرین زندگی خدا پیش ببرین، مثلا در وقتی کمک نیاز داشتن در ادارات در کدام بخش ها میتونن شما برین، یا در شفاخانه ها سیستم هایشان چه رقم هستن، اینا رو بر ما تشریح کردم. اینا به نظر بسیار یک کمک بزرگ بود در روزهای اول مهاجری.
So she shared that in the first few months that her family came here from Afghanistan, the refugee resettlement programs helped them find where the doctor's offices were, how to ask for medical support when they went to the doctor's office, how to look for work and find employment, and the different ways of doing that here in the US. And that was a big support during the first few months.
Thank you. Our third question for our panelists is, how do you think schools can better support the mental health and well-being of refugee students?
I think definitely like educating school faculty and school staff on cultural sensitivity and like what it means to have like a culturally inclusive and culturally affirming educational environment. And that can look like many different ways. And I think one of them is like not necessarily forcing children to assimilate and kind of like promoting them, like keeping their culture and their traditions. I think also like making space for students to express themselves and for facilitating like occasions where refugee and immigrant students can meet other students with similar backgrounds to them, to make the transition feel less isolating. Yeah, I just think that having like a basis of like understanding and cultural competency is really, really important for like peers as well as educators, and providing outlets for students to share and process their stories, making sure that like, yeah, school faculty are educated about where students come from. I think like a personal experience that I remember is like when I moved here and went to school, I was in middle school and I was too scared to tell people that half of my family was Muslim because I was like scared of the Islamophobia that I had like witnessed and that I knew existed here. So I think just like having general like education about like certain religions or cultures can make it feel safer for refugee and immigrant students to share more about themselves.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Sure. How do you think schools can better support the mental health and well-being of refugee students?
I think that the schools, so my school, we have a day, it's called the community walk, where the teachers and some of the school staff go in every group of students, where they go and see how the culture of every student, every culture is. That happens, and the idea of that is to learn about the culture of the students, which, as Irina mentioned, it's like if the teachers and the staff, the counseling team knows more about the students' culture, and it explains to them what the students going through and how it's happening. But where the culture that I came from Afghanistan, there's not a lot of stuff mentioned about mental health, and there's a lot of Afghan people who came as refugees in the past 3 years who suffer from mental health, for example, and anxiety and depression, which as like myself, I didn't know what mental health was or how to express myself, how to talk about my emotions. And then there was like the programs that came to my school, and my school itself, they taught us about mental health and how to express it and how to address it, how to address the symptoms, which that helped a lot. And I think if the schools have more of that in every school, it would help a lot of the refugee students to know how to express themselves when they're having symptoms of mental health, and try to have people from their same culture who can, kind of they trust and be able to open up to.
So one way schools can support the mental health and well-being of refugee students is by providing resources and sharing experience to help them adjust to the new system. Just like this conference where we are sharing our experiences is a great example, because we can hear the real stories and from real people, not from the edited websites. So also schools should communicate more with parents, as I think it's often harder for them to adapt to the new system since they have lived much longer with different experiences and habits. For example, my mom found it challenging. So I asked her what would have been helpful, and she said providing more information on free education, work opportunities for parents and students, and housing options like shelters for refugees would be useful.
I think it would be better just to have some sort of a person where you can talk to about your problem, some sort of a counselor where you can just come up to him and say like, I got a bad grade. Come on, let's talk about this and what problems did I do? Let's talk to the teacher and figure out because, well, when I first came to my chemistry class, I didn't understand anything. I got a D, and well, the teacher didn't really care, but she allowed me to use a translator. But back at that moment, I really wish I had a person who I can just come up and say, come on, help me with this, and just sort of a translation.
Sure. How do you think schools can better support the mental health and well-being of refugee students?
به نظر شخصی خودم و تجربیات خودم که داشتیم استادا خیلی نقشان تاثیرگذار هستند در این عرصه چون اونا میتونن همو معیارات درسیشان به نظر به مو قابلیت شاگرد که ریفیوجیز به زبانشان درک نمیکنه بسازن و دیگه کمیونیکیشن خود قوی بسازن که با شاگردایی که مثلا از کشورهای دیگه هستن و زبان انگلیسی رو خوب نیستن چرا کمک کنه و این بسیار مهم است که همین دستریک های در نظر بگیرن که استادایشان سطح درسیشان به نظر به مو لیول شاگردای رفیوجی بسازن.
Okay, so Mastura shared that it would help students' mental health if teachers could learn to understand about the situation that refugee students are experiencing and how that impacts their well-being and also their grades and their ability to succeed academically. You also shared to have better communication between teachers and students, so there's a way to talk with teachers or school administration about what you're going through at home. And I think that was most of it.
Thank you. All right, our sixth student panelist just arrived, so let's just pause for a minute to let him introduce himself. You have to hold down the button.
The Persian language. Yes. At the first, I want to introduce myself in the English, and after that, my colleagues to translate it. Okay. And my name is Farzad Faiz. I'm a monitoring assistant in Afghanistan in the humanitarian assistance project, UNWFP. And for now, I'm a panel of this conference. I have a background in humanitarian assistance program in education and humanitarian assistance from the United Nations in all of the north position of the Afghanistan, like Mazar Sharif province and Takhar and etc. the north province. And I'm so glad to see all of you in this conference. And I'm honored to meet all of these experts. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Farzad. Okay, we're going to move ahead to question number 4. What specific resources or support systems have been most helpful to you in your academic journey? And what types of resources or support systems do you wish you had from the beginning?
So something that I found helpful was after-school tutoring, especially because when I first got here, I did not understand anything. And I appreciated that the after-school tutoring was free because that definitely made it a lot more accessible to students like me. And then when I was in high school, something that really helped was college readiness programs for underrepresented students. And some of the things we did in those were like going on campus tours and then having people help us with our applications and getting like fee waivers for tests, just things like that. I think that it definitely helps level the playing field because I felt like my middle-class American peers had a lot more knowledge and access to the college application program. And yeah, I think that like free like school-based programs that kind of help kids who don't have those resources are super helpful, especially for like people who are in the diaspora. I also really appreciated when I was applying to college that some university admissions looked at applications holistically, which means they basically took into account like your circumstances and your background, which really helped me. And then when I got to university, at Cal, they call it the EOP program. I think they have like similar things at other universities as well, but it was basically a program for supporting like underrepresented students in various ways, including like academic support, housing, like other resources, things like that. And many other like programs and resources existed like that as well. So I felt really supported in that sense. And then something that I wish I had in school was like mental health counseling. And also, I wish that it was easier as an immigrant to access the like DSP program because I didn't know it at the time, but I did have a learning disability, and I think in a lot of like refugee populations, those things are often overlooked. Especially because the way that my family was is that like I had to have good grades, and I did, and I think because I had good grades, no one really like understood that I was also like mentally struggling. So I think something I wish that I had was like a resource for getting into a DSP program without having like your parents sign you up for it, if that makes sense. Yeah.
میخواهیم که با زبان دری می سفر مهاجرت خود که آمدیم و دوباره کدام نهادها که ما را همکاری کرده را میخواهیم براتون بگوییم. وقت تازه ما به ایالات متحده آمریکا وارد ایالات متحده آمریکا شدیم. اولین ارگانی که به ما واقعا کمک کرد و توانست که ما بتانیم در زندگی جدید خود آغاز کنیم سازمان IRC بود که باز تمام کمک ها با تمام برنامه‌ریزی های دقیقشان توانستن که ما زندگی جدید خود منیج کنیم. تمام مراحل مهاجرتی جدیدی که ما میتونستیم از قبیل اسناد و تمام چیزایی بود ما را پیش بردیم. و در بخش تعلیم تربیت وقت ما که ایالات متحده در شهر ساکرامنتو آمدیم ما با الگروه زندگی میکردیم و اتحادیه مکاتب الگروه بزرگترین خدمت و کمک هایی که به ما کردن در عرصه مکاتب بود که تمام 3-4 حتی اطفال خرد ما که واقعا نمیتونستن حتی به انگلیسی گپ بزنن یا را ظرفیت سازی کردن و تا که تونستن چیز کنن مکاتب خود آغاز کنن و بتونن سمسایی یا مکاتب خود شروع کنن و برنامه آگاهی زیاد داشتن و خود ما که واقعا که به ما سخت بود به کشور جدیدی که جا آمدیم نمیفهمیدیم که چه رقم برنامه ریزی میشه و چه قسم کار پیش میره. از او خاطر تمام مؤسسات که ما میخواستیم از او کمک بگیریم مانند ورد ریلیف بود و که توانستیم از طریق ورد ریلیف ما وظیفه پیدا کنیم و از بخش آگاهی و سکند چانس ایژوکیشن بود که سازمان سکند چانس ایژوکیشن توانست که ما فامیل و تمام کسایی که ما از افغانستان به مهاجرت کردیم از زبان دوم سکند چانس ایژوکیشن زبان دوم یعنی ایسیلا به ما آموخت ما حالا میتونیم به قدر کافی مشکلات خود در جامعه حل کنیم و بازم از تک تک موسساتی که به تمام مهاجرین افغان و اوکراینی که جمعیان کمک میکردن و کمک کردن از قلبم سپاسگزارم.
So you wanted to share the story of how he came here to the United States and the resources he got and where he got the resources from. The first one he shared was the IRC. He said that they helped him a lot when they first came here with their paperwork and housing and all that stuff. And he said back when he lived in Sacramento, the school helped him a lot with the enrollment of in the schools, like getting into school for the kids and other people in his family. And the other things that he mentioned was that there was these programs that helped them get employments, to help with the employments. And Azul Group, I don't know how to say the name, but that helped them too with the
Second
schools.
chance.
The second chance helped them with the language and to learn the new language in the United States, and that's it. And he wanted to say he wanted a big appreciation to the groups that helped him a lot when they first get here.
Absolutely. What specific resources or support systems have been most helpful to you in your academic journey, and what resources or types of support do you wish you had from the beginning?
So the resources that helped me when I got here was there was many resources that helped my family, including IRC as he mentioned. But myself, when I got to school at the first year of high school, I started as a freshman. There wasn't many resources. There was just the school team. The teachers were so welcoming. The school was so welcoming. It's a great community because there's people from every country and every culture. You get to meet new people from other cultures and other languages. But in the beginning of 10th grade, there started to come this group called the Sedra group, where there were people who spoke Farsi, and we got to, they helped us with our culture. The Afghan students, they held circles, the United Afghan students, and the other Arab students, which that helped a lot with my education, and I got to meet new people from other countries, for example, from Yemen and Pakistan and other countries. Something I wish I had was at the beginning of 9th grade, if there was a person who spoke my language at the counseling team would help a lot, because I wanted to know what classes I'm taking, and I wanted to help with my tutoring and stuff, but there wasn't anybody in my school at the counseling team who spoke my language.
So I had a lot of different resources that helped me, but the most helpful was people. And as a student, really use other resources to adapt to new schools. So my mom and I found everything out by talking to other people who had lived in the country for a long time, and including other refugees. And sometimes we ask our social workers for help, and so they shared with us their experience or told us to who we could talk to know about some things that we were interested about. And I wish there had been something that clearly explained how the school system worked, detailing things like how teachers teach, how grades are given, what happens during lunch, and what the office does, how wellness programs works, and so on. I didn't have anyone to explain all these things, so it took me about 1 or 2 months to fully adapt to the new school system.
Well, in terms of academics, I would mention the Immigrant and Refugee Transitions Program. That's Grace and Sergey, who are the members of an audience actually today. I wanted to thank them because they helped me with finding tutors. They helped me with finding opportunities, internships. Even this event, it's Grace shared with me, and I signed up by her. What I wish I'd had, I think I would love to. Back in the moment, I would love to explore more internships, discover any math internships and just work around them, because I wasn't able to learn math and any other sciences in English since I didn't speak it.
منابعی که من شخصا خودم در مکتب کمک کرده شامل زیادتر اکادمیکلی صنف‌های LD بودن، اکسترا کلاسز بودن، سمر سکول و اینکه در اوقات که کلاس‌هایی که مثلا مس داشتم یا در رکورد ترانسکریپت من نداشتم اونا را جایش گرفتن دیگه. زبان من تقویت کردن دم تا یک سطحی را و دیگه دوستایم که مثلا افغان بودن و تجربه زندگی بودم زیاد داشتن از من، مثلا یا در مکاتب تجربهشون زیاد بود، مرا زیاد کمک کردن در در مکتب درس‌های مثلا راهنمایی میکردن که مثلا صنفای ما درس‌های ما اینا همگیشان برای خیلی کمک کننده بود در روزهای اول.
Okay, so what was supportive was having tutoring and summer classes and extra classes and after school support, and as well as having Afghan friends who helped her figure out what classes to take and which classes you should take, right? And also summer classes. There was also English classes that helped you learn the language, right?
All right, thank you so much. We're unfortunately out of time, but I just want to thank our student panelists again, and thank you to our translators. It was just so helpful to learn more about your experiences coming to the United States, and I hope you know we all in this room love and support you, and you're in a room of people who want to support you and students like you. So this has been a really amazing opportunity. Thank you so much for your bravery and coming up and sharing with us.